So are we going to start? What do you say? Are we ready? Ready, let's go. Okay. So I will make the official introduction for this webinar. My name is Milica. I'm happy to be here with you at this small gathering, our webinar about how to boost your employee skills using Eduardo simulations. So for starters, let's just take a look at the agenda. What will be our topics for today? I have to admit, a little bit ambitious with selecting the topics because we have so much things to share with you about these simulations, since we are very excited every time we use them in development of people. So after our introduction, and talking about why even to use simulations, we will talk about our experience with them, in which parts of development projects you can use them in your own organizations, and of course, which models are there available for you. At the very end of today's sessions, we will share with you a little bit of sneak peek into the new trends and using artificial intelligence in simulations. So let's introduce a little bit more. I can see that some of the participants already know us. My name is Milica Mancic. I will be the host today. I'm thrilled to be here since I had experience with using simulations for about 8 years, I think, since the beginning that we started using them in H.art. And I use them in various workshops for clients, assessments, e-learnings, etc. So I'm happy to share my experience. Today with us is Peter Szlavik. He's founder of Eduardo Simulations. And I would like to hear from Peter. Peter, how did this all started? Peter is university professor in Budapest. So tell us about how you got the idea and started using Eduardo.
Okay, hello everybody. But I think we need to show Marija as well, no, on the presentation. Or
yes.
Or you want?
Yeah. After your part.
So hello everybody.
Just go ahead.
This is Peter.
If it's better.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable that we are three here.
Just go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Peter. I'm an economist, and the first connection with simulations is back when I was a student, early 90s. I still remember a case when we, even with that technology, we used simulation, and that was a fundamental experiment in production management, I think, and we really enjoyed it. It was even before PCs, so it was not a technology like we have now. And back in 2011, we decided to put a board game exercise into a computer. And in fact, if you think, a board game is a simulation as well, because it simulates kind of a real world or a simplification of a real world with all the connections. And then we decided to put it into the computer. That was SimTeam. And with SimTeam, we met, I think, in 2015 or 16. I even don't know the exact year.
That was the first one, yes.
Yeah, yes, and there we met, and Eduardo was born in 2017. H.art team was one of the first to test it, and it came with the idea that the technology was so much changed that we wanted to upgrade to a different approach and to allow a lot of technical functionalities to use. And since that time, we develop this, and I think we will look at too many aspects, but I don't want to spend all our time with the introduction. So that was it.
Thank you very much, Peter. And we're very excited that we were the first ones to test Eduardo. And I would like to ask my colleague Marija, and founder of H.art Development Center, to share. Marija, would you like to share how you met Eduardo or SimTeam that was first there?
Yes, of course. Well, it even starts before that. I may say those were preconditions. When I was finishing my faculty of psychology, I chose as last exam or research related to social games. So it's my love, in fact. So when I became consultant, I even tried to make some board games related to leadership. So our participants and clients could have this kind of experience, complex experience with practicing their skills on our trainings. Somehow, Peter and me were connected, and we realized that there is huge room for collaboration. When I found out that Peter's team is in fact creating such complex opportunity for learners to experience situations similar to reality, which we call simulations. So that's how we started collaboration, as we all said, something like 8 years ago. And not only using something that Peter's team already developed, but collaborated also in development of those modules, which was an honor for us, of course.
Thank you, Maria. So let's say that board games are something that connected the two of you, love for board games and for development. So there are many reasons to use simulations in development of people. I would like to turn to Peter, and Peter, would you give us some inputs on that? Why should we use simulations? What are the benefits? What do you say as an expert on this field?
Yes, so I would start a little bit farther away. So like, let's not think about business simulation first, but simulation in general. There are three fundamental dimensions. The one is when we want to have a complex situation, to analyze the situation where the consequences are multiple, and it's really difficult to do it in another way. So in this respect, even a business planning model or a board game is a simulation, whatever helps this analytical approach. But the second one is when we practice something. Think about like a doctor practicing on patients, but not a real man, but a torso, something like how to handle a heart attack situation or other, or Formula One drivers are practicing the different circuits, and they practice it many times to get confidence, to get muscle memory, but also in a factory, when factory workers try how an assembly line works, and this is also a kind of, it's a different kind of simulation. And the third one is when we need to learn about adaptivity, unforeseen situations. Think about again of the airplane drivers, aviators who need to practice this, and they cannot do it with real people up in the sky. So they need a controlled environment, which is complex enough to replicate the real world, but they can practice. And so summarizing it, we want to put the theory into practice in a safe environment, which is fairly comprehensive, because if it was not, then we would use easier exercises, and if we can do it with easier exercises, let's use it. Beyond that, there are certain advantages which we can utilize. For example, the feedback. So if I make a decision, I immediately got a feedback of what are the consequences of my decision, so I can practice it. I can rerun it. I can repeat it many times. I already mentioned the safe to fail environment, so we can make mistakes, no problem. And also, let's not underestimate the engagement. typically people like it, and the engagement means higher motivation to learn, or let's say more difficult to finish the exercise. So we want to keep on doing. And also, like in my case, to recall the old memory. When we learn about it, oh, we recall that situation. So that adds up all together. And I think for everybody, the priority is different in all different situations, whether we learn a repetitive thing, whether we need analysis of complex situations or uncertain situations. We also have tools for all of these three, but that's a big variety, and we can continue the list with many others, but now let's stop at this point and also what is on the screen.
Yes, I need to add this engagement thing, that it is something that is hard to describe until you go through the simulation and see how it looks like. I would like to ask Marija to tell us something about development projects, and in which parts of development projects can we use simulations?
Well, since sometimes we have this opportunity to discuss with our clients who recognize the benefit of simulation, but are not sure, have a dilemma, where should they use, how should they bring the most of simulations. What we offer, yes, in fact, this will be maybe the most helpful. As you see, our development projects consist of, let's say, blended learning and different methodology that, in fact, goes through a process. We showed here an example that lasts a year, but some projects last few months, few years, etc. So when we discuss with clients, this dilemma is not dilemma, but quadrilemma, or even maybe more complex, because simulations could be used at the very beginning of development projects. In fact, on our kickoffs, where people are warming up for development in front of them, for development journey, they can easily see the complexity of development fields that are in front of them. So they are ready for those chunked training topics to again collect them into one whole according to this kickoff. Then another option is self-assessment or assessment at the very beginning of the project, which in fact helps us to demonstrate, or participants to demonstrate different business and leadership skills, and to see on which level they are starting their development journey, so they can even have some kind of development plan with precisely defined development goals that they want to achieve, thanks to simulation as a tool. When I say self-assessment or assessment, it means that in case of self-assessment, we use debriefs in the middle and at the end of simulation, in which we invite our participants to really think and observe what was going on in the simulation and connect this with their real life, real business situations, so they can bring conclusion what kind of competencies can be seen and where they are lacking some skills or some attitude, so they could improve it. In case of assessment, our colleagues, consultants, let's say sit, because sometimes it's online, sometimes it's live, so they are present and they observe what level of competencies could be seen.
Milica, I must add that people forget that they are observed. In those situations when we use simulations, they are totally into it, so they forget that somebody is writing down. their insights.
Milica, since you are specialized for e-learnings in our team, what would you say how we can use simulation for e-learning?
Yes, of course. I can say that e-learning with simulations are very engaging, and they give the participants opportunity to prepare for some learning activity. And when you have simulation, then you can test your knowledges from, you know that every e-learning has some kind of tasks for participants. And here you have a task that is more complex and more engaging than usually. So it's kind of a fun game, and also the people learn from it. And they can test it many times, which is that repetition part. So I can experiment in a safe zone with, I don't know, if I'm leading a team of people, I can see what will happen if I do one or another thing.
Yes, yes. So beside that preparation, we also preparation aspect, let's say, for trainings, or as we call it, pre-work, we use those e-learnings, which means that simulation could be used individually by participants in their own dynamic, self-paced. So they can, as Milica said, they could use e-learning option with simulation also as their task for applying their new skills. One of the main option in development and development projects is let's say, the role of simulation in workshops and trainings, which mean that they become a tool for, as a kind of a case study, for practicing, learning, step by step skill, a competence that is that training about. So from time to time, we use simulation through the training course itself. Then a recap session at the very end of development project is also pretty often option from our clients, which then becomes some kind of team building and celebration of development journey, or learning journey of our participants, since they can see how much they improved their skills, what did they achieve. So we summarize in that way whole, as I said, chunked up process of learning. Or in other words, or slightly different usage is reassessment at the very end, or remeasuring of our effects and results. So sometimes simulation is part of it. And here is, let's say, again, new page for further development, since we believe in the lifelong learning and we believe that development is process. So when we finish one phase of development journey, our participants are then in the point where they resume and summarize what did they achieve, but also they plan their further development or next phase, which also helps us and our clients to have structured and goal-oriented plan for their people in company.
Thank you, Maria. I would like to add one more thing that we maybe haven't mentioned, and which is a very good way of organizing team buildings for people in business setting. And that is a team building that is not strictly just playing, but also has elements of learning within. So it is a very good options. We have some of the clients that organize it for I don't know, New Year's team building, or during the whole years. Okay, so let's go next to Eduardo, one of Eduardo partners. I like to mention that Eduardo has partners all over the world, and Eduardo is used in not only in the companies all over the world, but also in universities. And one of Eduardo partners is here with us today, Pallavi Verma. And I would like to ask Pallavi to give us a few insights on experiences. How does it look like using Eduardo simulations in universities?
Can we share Pallavi's video?
Hi, Pallavi. I can see now Pallavi here. Can you turn on your microphone, please, so that we can hear you?
Sorry.
Great. Great. Hello.
You can stop sharing, maybe, Pallavi. Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yes.
All right. Thanks.
Thank
you for the introduction. Sorry. Thanks for the introduction, guys. My name is Pallavi, and I've really enjoyed the presentation so far. I agree with Peter when he says that simulations are actually learned by doing. And I really enjoyed the slides you put together about the learning assessment journey. It's something very new, something very structured. Really love that. In terms of universities and how we work with them, Abdi and I, we partner with Eduardo, and we work with GCC in North America at the moment. We work with universities like UFT, Dubai University, Qatar University. And the two things that we've noticed that are most prominent with these universities is that they still follow a very traditional structure of learning, wherein it's just classrooms, a professor, a presentation, maybe a little bit of engagement in the end with Q&A. But we don't see a lot of learn by doing, or we don't see a lot of students developing 21st century skills. So the one thing that really took UAE and North America by storm was the 21st century skills and how we can operationalize it. Because when students are doing the simulations and they're participating, they're actually applying the knowledge that they've learned and coming up with their own set of skills. It sort of helps them develop their own unique set of skills as well, and it sort of gives it a grade as well. They grade it on it. For every decision they make, it's sort of graded. It's understood what they're doing well, what they're doing wrong. And again, like Peter said, it's a fail-safe technique. You can fail again and again, and you can keep improving. So that's something that the students develop as well. That's resilience that they develop with it. And it creates a very stimulated environment for the students. They get very involved in the classroom, and it's no longer something that they're just learning for the sake of it, no longer just a course, but it's something that they're taking with them. So it helps them during their job search as well. It helps them during the time of interviews and so on and so forth. It prepares them for almost everything. And the simulation ranges from AI to digital marketing to finance to accounting, everything. So the students get a whole package of experience where they're already prepared for the work they're about to do when they're stepping out into the world. They're just not going blindsided. They're actually prepared for what they're about to do. So these two things are what we've noticed have really helped us take UAE by storm and with Eduardo and simulation.
Thank you very much, Pallavi. It's really great what you do with students, and we also here in Serbia we all, very often hear students saying that they lack that practical part. So this is a great way to accomplish that.
If I may add something, since we are dedicated, H.art team is dedicated to development of companies through development of leaders. And in fact, talking about students is talking about people who are preparing for some role and growing their skills even before they will be able to apply them. So some of our clients are very smart in that sense, and they use our simulation, in fact, for that purposes, not only for students, but for employees who are preparing for example, role of a leader or any part of work that they haven't had their experience so far. So Peter will tell us soon in some seconds what modules do we have, so what kind of, let's say, preparation we can make, or if we miss that moment to do it in advance, what can we do now when we realize that we need to improve our skills, or at least to check where are we standing with our skills.
Yes, I think as Pallavi summarized, what hit me is that in fact there's not much difference of corporate use and academic use, because basically the motivation of the learner is nearly equal. And if you think of a corporate project, whether it's a reskilling, when we just show kind of new knowledge elements and new areas of knowledge, or upskilling, so like we improve with new dimensions on the same area. It's pretty similar, like teaching at a business school. And no, I'm saying business school, not university, so like more practice-oriented elements. So this is overlapping. Not surprisingly, we are using nearly the same modules. So there's no differentiation on the modules themselves, but more how they are used. And as this example of sets on the screen shows, we not only have traditional elements like finance and production and marketing, but also project management leadership. For example, number one, there is leadership by H.art as a specific content, not surprisingly, because leadership is important. Yeah, it's a main topic for you. And it's an ever-growing element, because if you remember what I mentioned, why we use the simulations, either we explore something complex and we want to understand, or we want to practice and get skills, or prepare for the uncertain. You can use different modules. Like the crisis and change management is helping you what to do in uncertain situations when you get surprises. While at the same time, you can practice thoroughly how to understand financial reports by doing an accounting and finance-oriented course. But of course, we also need to be open for the new messages of the world. So like one of the newest modules is digital marketing, and also it has social media elements. It was launched a few weeks ago, and Pallavi and her team is the one to put it into practice. So now there are many students already using it. So there, for example, you can practice not only a traditional marketing approach, but also connect it to social media, understand the importance of social media, and make a social media oriented strategy and action plan. So and just lastly, let me mention the sustainability, which is a hot topic. Let's say hot in many dimensions for us. There we teamed up with a Chilean company called EcoAd, and co-created a module that is about a green transition. So there is a versatile set of modules, and we can select the right ones for the right learning project.
Thank you,
Peter, for this overview. I need to say that I haven't still tried all of the modules, but I can share for sustainability management that it is very rich and very fun, and easily gives you insights on how to make your company more green. So it's really, really good. And of course, leadership module by H.art are I think the most used among our clients, because it follows all of the segments of development projects for leaders that we organize for people who are our clients. I'd like to add a little bit from my experience in using the simulations with clients that we can customize, as Peter already started to saying. I'd like to just put an emphasis on that we can really easily modify not only things that are Peter's expertise inside of the simulation, which they can add for clients, I don't know, some specific things into the story at the beginning of the simulation, or I don't know, logo of the client. Also, we can add some kind of additional tasks that will help us accomplish our goals. So we can also change things outside of the simulation. For example, at some point we switch team leaders, so they go to the next team, and we see how that rotation impacts the trust and other elements of interaction. Okay, and as we already announced, Peter will now tell us something about the newest trends when it comes to simulation, since Peter and his team are constantly innovating these things. Let's hear directly from Peter what is the newest on the platform.
I hope he will show us as well.
I plan to share the screen as
Great.
well. But before doing that, I'd like to mention that, of course, a year ago everything changed. Everything changed in learning, and it's not even slowing down. If you follow the news from Microsoft, introduction of co-pilots and the thousands or tens of thousands of applications which are already utilizing AI. We started to explore it back in last December. We made our first showcase in January or something. And right now we have several modules which already uses, and I believe that this will be a new set of learning solutions. And let me have just quickly 2 examples. The first one, I share the screen. You quickly see the many modules here, but I go into a day in the office simulation where if I start it, I got an introduction in a quick video. By the way, it's bite-sized. It's just 20 minutes. So like people want short courses, not only long one. And when Marija mentioned the combination of using it in the classroom and alone, this is kind of a synchronous approach. So we are synchronous in the classroom, immediate feedback and reaction, but the asynchronous part, when we do it alone, we can have immersion and understand the thing that's also important. Here in this case, we have an introduction from a virtual colleague telling us
welcome to the customer service training module.
What is the best, what is the target, and then if I enter already, I have a time pressure. So I'm a part of the customer success team. I have randomized instructions and some background, which I can quickly overview. But the most important is I'm getting feedback from customers. It's a gardening web shop where we got complaints from customers in text format, but also in video format. We got a video message. This is an unhappy guy from the garden directly.
Hello, I would like to raise a complaint regarding my recent experience with your web shop for gardening products.
So what happens is the guy is summarizing, not happy with our product, and I need to check what is the background of the story, and then I can write an answer. I'm not going to write it now. I can write an answer to this guy, David, and then David will reply to me. AI will have to reply it, and after the end of the conversation, my reactions will be evaluated by the AI from sentiment point of view. How kind I am, how professional I am, how much I'm using the customer complaint handling policy of the company. Similarly, I have another complaint. So it's an interaction on a text base, which now could be evaluated. A year ago, it was not available. But now it's possible, and it's possible not only this case, but whatever is in your mind, a conflict situation, selection of employees, making interviews, whatever. So that could be done. And AI is helping to personate these participants and make it lifelike and useful. And just quickly, another is inside of the digital marketing, where we have a digital marketing strategy that you fill up like an exercise. There are 17 questions, and you can have longer or shorter answers. In fact, in a summary, it's a digital marketing strategy of your sample company. And what AI does at the end, when I click finish, I got a detailed summary and feedback as if it was like a trainer or teacher, but it summarizes the concerns, the questions relating to my text. So imagine the productivity at university level now, or at the corporate level, that we can do the evaluation immediately, even for hundreds of users at the same time. And in this evaluation, the fingerprint of the trainer could be put in. So it's not AI telling it by itself. We can tell AI what are the good results, or what we expect, or what is the methodology that we want to double check. So a lot is coming, and I encourage everybody to go with open eyes and explore these things.
Great. Also, we can organize some individual sessions for all of those who want to go more in deep with any of the modules. So thank you very much, Peter, for sharing us this. This is a really hot topic today. AI is everywhere.
You are thinking of the questions. I also like to introduce Abzi. If Abzi, you can introduce yourself, who was not able to join us earlier, and also works with Pallavi and has a really wide experience in several countries and fields. So Abzi, if you can tell a few words until we wait for the questions, it would be so great.
Yeah, hi. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we've been working with simulations for quite some time, and Peter's team as well for quite some time. I'm gonna try and turn on my lights, and I'm gonna just park the car on the side because I don't want to drive and talk at the same time. Yes. All right. So yeah, we've been working with Peter's team for a while, and with international clients. We worked in Canada. We've worked across Europe. We've worked in the Middle East. One of the best things about simulations, honestly, is that everyone, the students and participants, you know, whether it's corporate training, whether it's, you know, in a classroom, everyone loves it because everyone loves the competitive aspect. Everyone loves to compete, to do new things, try new things, and see what's going to be the outcome. And I think, you know, the AI digital marketing simulation is really good. And the new digital marketing simulation is awesome. It's out of this world. So it's something that a lot of our clients love. A lot of them have already adopted them. A lot of them are coming on in January because we literally just launched it. But it's really good. And honestly, hats off to Peter's team for, you know, developing everything so quickly for us. I mean, for the market. And yeah, everyone just loves simulations because they want to try new things. And they like to sort of incorporate it within the classroom because it, honestly, you know, we've heard a lot over the past 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 years about flipping the classroom, about using digital didactics and you know, the pedagogical, you know, ways of teaching and stuff like that. But this honestly puts everything into perspective, and it does it in a really, really nice way. So yeah, that's my my 2 cents about
yeah. And actually, if I may have a question, because you are present in several countries and you see so different cultures. Some
yeah.
So it's a really diverse world which you manage. How do you see, what is there difference in how people are learning in these different countries? I'm not talking about corporate or university. I'm more to talk about the cultural element. Do people learn differently in the Gulf or in North America or in Western Europe or in Southeast Asia, or they are just humans and they learn the same?
Simulations is like McDonald's. It's loved everywhere. So that's the short answer of your question. But it is a deep question in the sense of different cultures working with different ways and language barriers and you know, the way people do things in different countries. Of course, the culture is very, very different. But by and large, it's almost the same. However, there are going to be differences in terms of the levels of students that you might encounter. There are some countries where we find that the students perhaps need a little bit more handholding. They get it, they understand it. I mean, but it's just, you need to get them there. You just need to give them that extra support. You know, students in North America and Europe, are a bit more advanced. They're a bit more savvy when it comes to these things. So they're very quick to adapt and adopt it. I was literally just in a lecture right now with about 50 or 60 kids in Ras Al Khaimah in the UAE, and it's a small university. But everyone was, they asked me such smart questions, and I was like taken aback as to, how come they're asking such good questions. But, it just shows that I think now the world, this new generation is catching up quite quickly, and everyone's pretty much on the same page. So yeah, I'll come back to my short answer. It's like McDonald's, everyone loves it.
Thank you very much, Abzi.
Thank you very much, Abzi. It was very nice to see you, and thanks for flexibility to join us today.
Most welcome. Happy to be here.
Again, for participating today at our small webinar, and also thanks to our speakers, Marija, Peter, Abzi, Pallavi, everybody who was here us today. We will send you a follow-up email afterwards, and also we're open to any more requests for meetings and your emails. We wish you a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, have fun and learn. Exactly. Bye.
Yes. Bye.